Let's see if it actually works. That it recorded. It's starting. Okay, I'm hitting mute.
And you are listening to the Points of Interest podcast right here, right now. Believe it!
On this episode of the Points of Interest podcast, we catch up after a week off. A fun wrestling story. Did anybody see Black Widow? G.I. Joe Origins. Sir Richard Branson in space. Hello and welcome to the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja. And right over here, as I hit the button, is my podcasting partner and best friend. She is the beautiful Miss Savannah.
Guess what, guys?
What?
We have an executive producer.
Ooh.
I know. I can't wait for all of the guests we're going to get and all of the editing that our producer's going to do. It's just going to, the weight off of Josh's shoulders and onto the producer is going to be awesome. Man.
It's gonna be rock. So great. Over there is my best friend and podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
Bonus nachos, everyone. That's what I picked up from Mexico.
Yeah, you took a little trip, did you not?
It'd be really funny if I said no.
I know.
I didn't. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, Francis, how did you celebrate your 4th of July? Your American Independence Day. How did you celebrate?
I spent American Independence Day, which normally on any other given year I'd be playing video games on Independence Day because I don't do anything. But I went to Mexico City, Mexico for the 4th of July weekend.
That's great.
Which is what all red-blooded Americans do, is they go to some other foreign country and celebrate there. Surprisingly, no fireworks. I was a little disappointed.
Weird.
Yeah, but
Did you play Pokemon Go? There was fireworks on there.
There was.
I did. What's funny is I was so excited because I think this is the week I sent out the gifts from Mexico. From
I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, good.
I haven't played in a day or two, so I need to open things up.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I'm giving out gifts from Mexico. This is so great. But yeah, I spent about 5 days out in Mexico to visit the girlfriend, and it was a lot of fun, except for the altitude sickness I got for my first day there. So
which really sucks. That sucks. Like even with acclimation here, I mean, you're still going to another 1,500, 2,000 feet.
Yeah, it is 7,000 some feet above sea level.
Oof.
And they tell you, like they even tell you before you go, make sure to spend the first 2 days acclimating to the thinner air and everything. And what did we do? We started walking and hiking places.
Of course.
Day one, after a red eye from LA to Mexico City.
I mean, would you do it any other way?
It's how I roll. I do it every time I travel. I always do a red eye because I want to make like that first day meaningful. I did it in Tokyo. I did it in Philadelphia. I do it all the freaking time.
Philadelphia. You did those morning flights though. Was that actually red eye or was that
it was
early
red
morning?
Eye? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I would leave at like 10:30 and arrive at like 7 or like 9 a.m. the next day. And then we're like, okay, let's go do this convention thing. I'm like, because I can't sleep. And the flight over and the flight back, for some reason, I got the middle seat both times. So that was fun.
What did you fly?
I flew Aeromexico.
Oh.
Aeromexico.
So
you flew.
I flow. Rhythm, that kind of rhythm and float on Aeromexico. But Mexico. I don't know what people's idea of Mexico is, outside of Cancun and like Acapulco, right? Like the resort areas.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the city, dude, it's a hustle. It's the hustle country of the world. Everyone's hustling. Everyone has a job. Doesn't matter how old you are or what you're doing. Everyone has a job.
Right.
Like the thing that blew my mind was retired old women. They have a job to do, which is they bag your groceries at the grocery store. You just see a line of old people just bagging your groceries, and you tip them afterwards. Everyone gets tipped. Doesn't matter what they do. They can swat a fly from your general direction. You give them money. Like, it was such a weird kind of that was the culture shock for me, was like pretty much everyone kind of does something. There's like a dude that like tells you where to park in an open parking lot. It's like, it's an open parking lot. I can park where the hell I want. It's like, no, you should park here. Okay. And then you just you hand them the money. It's like, fine. And that's kind of how it is. It's such that but they're super nice over there. It's a really it's always weird to go to homogenous countries, right? You live in the US, so much melting pot. This is my third homogenous country. Ireland, Japan, now here. Oh, and Spain, I guess. But like, so weird to be in homogenous countries. It's just so strange to just see everyone kind of the same thing. And of course, no one knows I'm Asian. No one knows I'm Filipino. Everyone talk to me in full, fast, 100-mile-per-hour Spanish.
That was the first question I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone thought.
You just
and also, I'm wearing a
blended
mask.
right in.
I did.
Okay.
But even without the mask, because when you're eating, even without the mask, and the beauty of it is, once they found out I didn't speak Spanish, they still, even though they talked to Martha, they would still look at me in the conversation, even though they knew I didn't understand a freaking word they were saying. And then they're just like, I'm like, well, that's really nice of them to at least include me in the conversation. I have no idea what's going on. But it's a beautiful. It's actually really beautiful over there.
Did she make you order in Spanish?
Yeah, you order in Spanish. Yeah.
No, did you order in Spanish?
Oh, did I order in Spanish?
Yes.
I mean, yeah. So the city is kind of touristy, so they have English menus, and I would say most of the staff at we only ate at 2 restaurants. Everywhere else was like on the side of the road. There was like our favorite taco place. Apparently, the best tacos in all of Mexico City is an auto repair shop by day, taqueria by night.
Wow.
So when the
that's
sun
efficient.
goes
That's
down,
efficiency.
Yeah, it's really cool. So when the sun goes down, they push the cars in. There's these flaps that go down. All of a sudden, they're selling tacos at this place where they just did your oil change. It's unbelievable, and it's really good tacos. I eat a lot of tacos.
Jesus, Francis.
I'm just saying.
Bazing.
Just saying. Had a lot of tacos. Had my mouth full this weekend.
Oh,
so no, but
You're gonna get in trouble.
I know. Luckily, I know she's busy tonight, so. But yeah, no, it was a super cool time. Really enjoyed it. I mean, in a nutshell, really green. A lot of a lot of history, which you almost don't expect. People kind of think of Mexico as like a third world country. It isn't. It's like a developing country. It's not necessarily a first world country, but it's not a third world either. It's right in between. So it's a weird kind of mix of, like, again, everyone's hustling, but also there's a lot of modern conveniences. I would recommend go spend a couple days to relax. Don't overdo it first day like I did. We're like, let's go everywhere. Day one, the moment you get off the plane, go relax, then go check out. It's a beautiful city. It really is a beautiful city. Really nice people, and and it's just it's enough of a culture shock in which, like, they just the pace of Mexico is just so different from like any other part of the U.S. And I'm from California, which I already know is different from the rest of the U.S. as a whole. Like, I mean, I know I still get guff from all the East Coasters who say, like, oh, well, you're Californian, you don't really understand.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I know. California has its own little thing.
Come to the Midwest.
Yeah. Oh my good. Well, I would love to. I would love to. I remember I went to Oklahoma for like a few days, and the one culture shock to me was this bar on bicycle wheels. It's like this like
pedal pubs.
The pedal pubs,
Yep.
and I'm like, what the hell is going on?
They are the bane of literally everyone's existence. Like,
and there's
they had them in San Diego as well.
Which one?
San Diego.
I didn't see it. Did we see it in San Diego? I didn't see it in
during
San Diego.
Comic-Con. Yeah.
It was just the square thing and like canopied, and it's just everyone's pedaling and then drinking. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it's like a novelty for like bachelor parties and birthdays and stuff like that. But like they're literally, I think they like emerged very quickly, and then there were laws immediately put into place because they were just like train wrecks, just absolute fucking traveling train wrecks.
Well, I hope to visit the true Midwest for much longer then, because I was only there for a couple of days. And like, where's Graceland? Is that considered Midwest too? Where Graceland is? In Tennessee.
That's not, yeah. Is that Tennessee?
Isn't it?
I don't know.
I've been there. I should know.
Memphis.
I haven't been there.
It's in Memphis. It's in Memphis.
Okay. Yeah. I was just gonna say I know that it's not. Sorry.
So I don't know. Is Tennessee?
It's not Nashville.
It's the South, I guess.
Yeah.
Tennessee's the South, so it's a little different. But yeah, I actually just did last night a whole podcast on Mexico City. I got into more detail. So if you want to check it out there, I just wanted to give a brief, just say, hey, it's not Tijuana for those who've been to Tijuana. Tijuana is like nothing like Mexico City. It's cool. I actually think Tijuana is more modern and nicer and cleaner than Mexico City. Mexico City itself, because it's right dead center of the country, a little more dirtier. Oh, and everyone drives like a maniac. It's you don't give way to pedestrians. Oh hell no! You better not be in the middle of the road, or you're gonna get run over. You're gonna get your ass run over. They don't care. Like, your brakes better be in the best condition ever, because you drive like you're just you don't give a who cares. Like, bleh. So that's kind of like the most interesting thing I think about Mexico City is like they drive like insane maniacs over there. But I think everywhere else in the world does, outside of like Western cultures like US and the UK and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Everyone else just like.
I was gonna say we were in US Virgin Islands, and we took a cab to like this hole in the wall bar, and it was like this winding road and like low maintenance road too. So it was like potholes, and we were like, this is how we die.
Yeah.
This is our death right here.
Mm-hmm. It's like, well, I wasn't awake before. I am now.
Yeah.
Right. Like, oh my God. How do you drive so aggressively for someone so tiny?
And they're just like laughing and like just having the best time of their lives and just like having casual conversation. And you're like, how am I not dead yet?
Oh, the sheer number.
As someone who is a aggressive driver, when I picked up Savannah, a couple months ago, whatever that was, like, I had to like, all right, there's somebody in the car with you. You don't need to be up everybody's ass. You don't need to drive like a complete asshole.
You had to calm yourself down.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Whatever.
Well, you know.
Yeah, that's nearly impossible in Mexico. The sheer number of chinga tu madres coming out of her mouth every so often was just like, wow, okay. I'm glad you're not watching, Martha. But good time overall. That's how I spent my 4th of July. No, there were Americans there. There were actually quite a few Americans there, so I wasn't the only one stepping away from my civic duty to shoot fireworks and sing the national anthem.
I mean, it's not like it's like a huge slap in the face. Like if you had gone to like the UK and celebrated, like that's
true.
Slap in the face. Like
a buddy of mine from the workplace is he was born in Britain, army brat, but he was like, yeah, I'm gonna hide this weekend. I'm like, why? He's like, it's not safe for a British man to be walking on U.S. soil this weekend.
Nobody.
It's like, that's actually pretty fucking funny.
Whatever.
That's funny.
Yeah, no.
So the big thing that happens usually for us 4th of July is, as you know, at the lake cabin.
At the lake house.
um, Larry the Cable Guy was our like most famous resident. Like he lives right across the bay from us, and like this just massive sprawling estate. And July 3rd, he would always put on a fireworks show that he would spend literally thousands of dollars on, like hire like the best pyrotechnics, like just always a huge show essentially. And July 3rd, we always speculated it was his son's birthday, his wife's birthday, and then we asked the local bar owner because they were friends, and he said it was his anniversary with his wife. That's why they did it on the 3rd. And so found out when I got there this year that Larry had finally sold his estate up there, and he'd been trying to sell it for a couple years, so it wasn't a huge shock. But the new owner was like, "Yeah, I'll take on this tradition," but clearly did not spend nearly as much as Larry did. So like Larry would always they'd have these pontoon boats that would do all the fireworks, and you could tell it was all like electronic firing, and it was a whole thing. They ever tell you about the one year it went awry?
Yeah, weren't boats on fire?
And one of the pontoon, and they're like, "Wow, is this the finale?" And basically this pontoon was just like going, it was hitting the water and just just everywhere, haywire. And that pontoon itself was on fire for a good 3 days following that.
Wow.
It was just
So wait
like
a minute.
funeral pyre. So basically we went out, and then it sucked and they were just firing them off from land, and it wasn't a very, usually you can watch it from pretty much anywhere on the lake and you can see it.
Sure.
And it wasn't. And so we went to the bar. We went there early because we're like, let's get a dock slip, like make sure that we beat the rush, and then we'll get there, we'll get seats. We went and it was empty. And then we come to find out that the new owners, of course, were having like this huge like rager, and everyone was invited except for us. So we took over the bar and played the fun Touch Tunes game where we just secretly play songs from our phones. And so everyone got to hear Duel of Fates and
the ultimate hold
All
night.
I Want for Christmas Is You. So
the ultimate
well, Christmas in July.
the
sure,
best 4th of July song ever. Anyway, sorry, Francis.
No, I was just gonna ask. So the guy has to. So whoever owns that property takes over.
No, I think this year he was like, yeah, I'll continue it this year. And then when, like I said, we were talking to the bar owner, and he said, it sounds like it's going to, obviously there's quite a few wealthy people who live on the lake. And I guess it's just going to be kind of a moving, somebody else will host it every year now.
And it's gonna suck every single
Well, and I'm
year.
sure it'll turn into like a pissing contest of who has more money and who can outdo the rest. And
Yeah, but nobody has cars money. That's the thing.
That Delta farce money.
Yeah. Nice pull. I did the 4th of July at a friend's family, and I was actually asked to bring like some kids type of sparklers or something.
Oh, I'm glad you said kids type and not just kids.
No,
So you
and
brought cherry bums.
no. Well, here's the thing: where I was hanging out and where I had to go was like a dry county for fireworks. And I didn't realize this until I was like halfway through there, and I'm like, I have not seen a single fireworks stand.
Because they don't sell them, or was there just a ban?
There was a
fire.
There really was a complete ban in the city, but the county itself had a ban. And I didn't realize this until I was like, 5 minutes from the house. I'm like, oh shit. So, somebody went and got some sparklers. And when they came in, they handed them to me like all sneakily like, and I'm like, what's going on? I said, oh, well, we told our daughter you were going to bring her a present. And I was like, oh, all right. Yeah. Yeah. Sneakily give those to me. Thanks.
And it was that one firework where you light it up and it's just this black snake that erupts from the ground and it just turns into poo. Which is like the stupidest. Like, why do you sell that? It does
Right.
nothing except look like poo.
When you're a kid, it's like the very first time you do it, you're like, whoa, and then it's never cool ever again.
No, and you have like 9 more in the box that you have to go through. But yeah, it was good to hang out with this other family and visit everybody, and their little girl melts my heart. So she gave me a hug.
You're not gonna like Grover Cleveland that situation, are you?
No, I don't even know what that means.
That you'll inevitably become like the 23rd president.
He watched his friend's daughter grow up and then married her when she was.
Oh God,
18.
No.
Well, that was the joke.
Christ.
Yeah.
No,
that's what I intend to do, is marry some.
Yeah.
It's so weird. That's so weird. And why do you know that?
Why don't you know that?
I know. Well, now we do, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I don't. How do you? Let's get out of that. Hey, did you see Sir Richard Branson hanging out in a little?
Speaking of old weirdos.
Nice, thank you. Hanging out in his little space plane.
Yeah.
Well, a little publicity stunt, but it was fucking awesome.
Gonna be rich, guy.
I mean, sure, yeah. I mean, but like, of all the rich dudes that are out there, at least he's done some shit. Like, not only like for himself. I don't know.
Yeah.
He had those cool Virgin planes for a while.
Yeah, he owns an island.
I mean, he woke up one day and said, "I want to go. I want to take an amphibious car across the English Channel," and just did it. I think that's cool.
I mean, that's the beauty of having infinite amount of money to just be able to spend on anything. It's weird how it's like, I don't know. It's so hard to take billionaires seriously sometimes.
Yeah,
sure.
Because oftentimes it's just like, how can I amuse myself today? Oh, I know. I'll fly to the moon.
Yeah.
Like, I just need to amuse myself because I'm so bored. I have enough money and everyone, caters to me hand and foot. Like, I need something to do.
My old boss from my last job, her son works actually for the space engineers, whatever, for him, for Virgin. And whatever that program is that they call it. I know it's not SpaceX.
Virgin Galactic.
Sure. And so she went down there for their the whole launch weekend, has pictures with fucking Sir Richard Branson and
oh, he's a sir, that's right.
Yeah, just hanging out in his spacesuit and so I thought that was pretty.
Well, neat. I mean, even aside from the billionaire race to space, it's cool that there is we have one reusable rocket turning into a starship soon in SpaceX.
Mm-hmm.
The what's the other one? New Shepard? That's the Bezos one, right? That's another reusable rocket. And then you got Branson in his space plane, which completely different. I mean, yes, still space sort of thing, but a completely different way to get there. I just think it's cool to see 3 different approaches, 2 that are very similar, but this one, which big surprise, Richard Branson doing something weird. He's got this solid rocket space plane thing that does backflips and is a transformer and shit. I think that's cool.
Yeah, he's the first eccentric billionaire, really, I think. Because Bill Gates wasn't eccentric. He was boring.
Yeah. And Elon Musk is trying to be eccentric, but he's not.
He's not.
He's not.
I mean,
he did just move
practical.
into a tiny home.
I want a tiny home.
It's smaller than my home. And I have a tiny home.
The one that fits in a backyard. And
I mean, depending on the backyard, my house is that. So. Did we figure out, Francis, how many square feet is your apartment? Your condo?
God.
Whatever.
500? No, I don't know. I don't remember.
Mine's 750. My house.
Yours is bigger.
So,
I mean, I've had
yours is definitely bigger.
I've had
apartments.
apartments.
But hardly is what I like. It's a house though. Is it's a tiny house. I I keep saying that I'm going to sell my house, and because I want to get out of it, but I just haven't figured out what I want to do yet. And my realtors are like, it's great. We'll empty it, which is their way of saying that I'm a fucking hoarder. Anyway, they're like, and we'll market it as a tiny house. And I was like, you think so? They're like, absolutely. And I'm like right next to a college, so it's whatever. But
Is it 700, right?
so it's 744. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like 2-bedroom apartments bigger than that.
Yeah,
I
was
know.
gonna say
Even around here there are.
Yeah.
I've had apartments that are bigger than that.
There are like studio apartments that are bigger than that.
Yeah.
So, but I have a yard and I have a garage and equity.
Yeah.
But you don't have a ticket to space.
I do not
No.
have a ticket to space. I don't know if I would want a ticket to space. I don't know. I every time that I watch any sort of Star Trek or Star Trek movie, I get really bummed out that Starfleet doesn't exist and that like we can't like that whole society doesn't exist. Socialist, gay, communism, and whatever. And
Okay.
and I get really bummed about it that I'll never do that, but I don't want to be in the trials of space exploration right now.
I did like their cute little parachutes that they were wearing, as if those were going to do anything without an air mask being up in the upper atmosphere of Earth. That was cute.
It's to keep the corpse intact, Josh.
No, sorry.
It's to make sure the corpse is intact for burial. That's what it's for.
It's just to keep all the parts from spilling out onto the ground.
That's right. Well, so it doesn't go like splat immediately.
Right, right.
I
saw that. I just giggled because I was like, the one that looks smaller than a regular parachute, and two, you were going like Mach 3. That parachute is going to just disintegrate. And then with no air, you're probably gonna die.
Josh, it's fine.
Yeah, you'll be like you're in Mexico City. No, no, I'm a fan of the. I'm telling you. Oh my God, I was like, I have problems. No, but I
PTSD
love
just from walking across the street.
You don't understand how it was just hard to do anything. Climb stairs? No, thank you. Everything was a struggle.
Okay.
And yeah. But no, space exploration is awesome. I just feel like, there's other stuff that needs to be accomplished first that we can use their money for, like that we can use their innovation for right now.
Sure.
Space exploration is awesome. I want it, but there's
I agree.
There's so many other things right now. Yeah.
There's a lot of things that can be fixed. A lot of things.
And I thought,
and still have money left over for space exploration.
Oh, for sure. I do think it's cool with SpaceX and their rideshare program. Francis, somebody that we know, works with a company that launches people's ashes out into space.
Yeah.
So like that second stage isn't just, for Starlink. There might be a rideshare satellite or two plus these little capsules. And it's really cool.
Right.
That and I'm sure that, I'm sure you pay part of the cost to get on there, but it's cool that it is an option, and it's not just, the NASA or whatever the European version of NASA is, like ELU.
I don't know.
EAS. I don't know what it stands for.
Well, is it NASA working with SpaceX nowadays? Like,
they're all of them are.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're all kind of collaborating. Yeah.
Because NASA doesn't really have money, but they have all the know-how and.
Right.
Yeah,
but it's cool to see all this stuff happen. I've watched more rocket and space launches in the past 4 years than I have probably my entire life.
Yeah,
and it was an event. The original SpaceX launches were events. People were gathered around their screens. I was
The
gonna say
same
TVs.
guy, Francis. Francis, the same guy that we know lives in Florida and would run outside to go and watch them. And now he just said something a few days ago, like, whatever.
I kind of like that too. I kind of like that we're kind of getting like it's almost common. Like, oh yeah, we're doing more space stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a thing.
I came home today, looked and turned on the YouTubes and saw a channel that said live SpaceX launch, and I was like, "What? I didn't even know there was one." And clicked on the channel, and it's just replaying launches like on a loop. So if you really got a hard on for rocket launches and SpaceX, you can watch this channel and just,
Yeah. Well, it was like with the Mars, their most recent landing that they did, and we were all huddled around my computer watching their like simulation of like the crane and the and all that stuff. So when you say screens, that just reminded me of that. So.
Yeah, the Mars stuff was fantastic. Like people were super interested in the Mars stuff. I remember when I forget which satellite went past Pluto and was able to give you a better picture of Pluto. Like people were excited, and I'm glad that people still are.
Yeah.
Like super excited about space, and I think we should be.
I just watched today the final images of the satellite that crashed into Saturn. I can't remember what it was. Cassini, I think is what it's called.
They need better names.
That was really cool. I did not know that there is a moon in the rings of Saturn.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was really cool to see.
Yeah.
I learned something today. It was really fresh. Yeah.
Speaking of fresh,
wrestling story. Can I tell you guys a wrestling story?
Yeah.
It is fresh. It is fresh. There is a wrestler named Hangman Adam Page. He. Are you saying this because you're very familiar with Hangman, or you just playing along?
He's like,
no, I know.
Okay.
You have my attention now. That's what you shouldn't say.
He's a good-looking guy.
Oh, there you go.
So there is a 2-year-long story that's culminating in the next couple episodes, and it's one of the greatest wrestling stories I've ever been witness to. This story started on episode 1 of AEW Dynamite, and has been a story of like self-doubt and losing friends and gaining friends and gaining confidence back. And it's, the next pay-per-view, it's going to be just really awesome. And I'm pumped for it. This was supposed to come out a lot more eloquently than it just did. But
a lot of build up there, Josh.
Yeah. So how can I wrap this up? So or nutshell this. Adam Page was part of a group called the Elite originally, and in this group was a guy named Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega has won championships all over the world. He's kind of like the thing in wrestling. At one point, after that first loss on Dynamite, Adam Page asked to be removed from the Elite. He wanted to leave the group and kind of figure out himself and be his own guy. And they wouldn't let him. They went back and forth. And then they started to do this subtle alcoholic story. Not like a distasteful one, but usually after a match, he would always...
It's not really a tasteful alcoholic
I know, but
story.
after matches, before the downfall, there would either be a plant or he would take beer from people out of the crowd and share a beer with
melon cart and just down a melon cart.
Right. And obviously pre-pandemic. So
sponsor us.
It got more. The beer thing and the drinking became more and more and more, where he started to do promos with a glass of whiskey, started to do interviews with whiskey in his hand or a beer in his hand. The pandemic happened, and plans got changed a bit. And
what?
Yeah, right. So AEW did this thing called the Stadium Stampede match, where it took place in the Jags football stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
oh yes, I know. Okay.
so, I mean, and it was kind of a hero moment for the guy. He showed up on a horse. He chased people around on a horse. He had a bar fight. Somebody, I think he got slid across the bar, like Western style.
A couple times. Yeah.
But all was well for a night, and the Elite were back together. But then as they, AEW tried to figure out how, to still do wrestling, they jumped back into the storyline of self-doubt and everything else. At one point, Kenny Omega and Adam Page became a tag team. And there's these other two guys called the Young Bucks that are like the hottest thing in tag team wrestling. They are also part of the Elite. Yep. Those two guys and Kenny Omega are like the best of friends. So there was a situation where Hangman asked the Young Bucks, "Hey, can you stand in my corner in this match? It's really important to me." And they said no. So he felt like he had no friends. And he left the group. And then that's where they really started to do the drinking thing, where it was definitely not tasteful, but it was still in character. It wasn't like Razor Ramon or Jake the Snake in his bad days. So how can I say it? So enter another faction called the Dark Order. Shut up. Look, wrestling's awesome. You guys can just deal with it.
No, I'm laughing because of Francis. I'm just trying to follow along. Me being like, yeah, I remember all of this. And him going, names, places, yep,
well,
things.
So another faction,
Nouns.
There's another faction called the Dark Order. And when the Dark Order first showed up on AEW, it didn't work. It didn't work for me. It didn't work for a lot of fans. They came to Adam Page and, tried to get him to join the group. And the leader of the Dark Order, John Huber, unfortunately, came down with a sickness, died like 2 months later. It was very traumatic. They put on a tribute show for the guy, and everybody that was in the Dark Order that was on the card that night won the match. And then John Huber's oldest kid, came down to the ring with his boots and gear and whatnot and retired it. Dink, dink. The Dark Order then took the kid under their wing and that night became the most wholesome faction in all of wrestling. Like, all they're doing is basically helping this kid get through a traumatic time. So they all became baby faces, extreme baby faces overnight. So Hangman is kind of hanging out with them, really not part of the Dark Order, but he's hanging out with them. They're all best buds. Kenny Omega comes out. I've beaten everybody in AEW. I've beaten everybody in TNA, in Mexico, Japan. There's nobody else for me to beat, so I'm going to go to another wrestling organization and beat somebody there. Here comes the Dark Order once again. The leader, well, he's kind of the spokesman of the Dark Order, comes out and says, he doesn't actually say Hangman Adam Page, but with the crowds thankfully back, they start naturally chanting for Hangman. And the last 2 weeks have just been this mega buildup of anticipation of what's about to come, where scuffles happen, people's backs are, Kenny and Hangman's backs are to each other. They turn around. Somebody's in the other position to do their finisher move. They have a standoff. It's awesome. I don't give the story justice whatsoever. There, if you were to
sold.
If you were to go onto the Googles and type in something to the effect of Hangman Adam Page Twitter thread, there's a guy his first name is Chris something. Starts with a B, his last name. He did a thread of like 12 or 13 tweets kind of covering this story. And the guy I think is a writer, so he he knows how to use words. I'm a podcaster, I don't know how.
Use words.
But yeah, just an awesome story that it's just awesome to see long form storytelling, much like a comic book or a movie series, actually start to, have an actual finish, as opposed to like fucking Lost or Heroes where, nobody knew what they were doing at all.
I guess my question is, and mind you, I followed none of that.
I figured as much.
My question is, do most wrestlers not have a through line in their careers? Do they normally kind of just fizzle away and disappear without finishing whatever storyline they happen to have in the world of wrestling? Or do they normally get kind of that hero moment or villain moment and either get defeated and go away forever, or win and go away forever?
The majority do not.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think there's been one wrestler.
There's a handful of like iconic wrestlers who actually get, if they don't die first, is the sad thing.
Right.
And then they'll get their
I would say maybe Undertaker would fall under that, because he was the Undertaker the entire time. He just changed his appearance over the years.
Is it because he was balding?
Yes, and also like he wanted to be a biker guy for a little while, but like even though he was all dressed in biker gear, he was still the Undertaker.
Yeah.
He was just the American badass.
So the vast majority of wrestlers have incomplete storylines,
right.
incomplete.
They usually get future endeavored.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like sometimes if you're lucky.
Do you know what that means, Francis?
I have no idea what that means.
They'll send out a blanket statement, as in WWE, send out a blanket statement that says we wish them luck in their future endeavors.
Mm-hmm.
Future endeavors,
One guy that they did give good luck to their future endeavors. They forgot to update his non-compete. When this guy, he wrestled under the name of Aleister Black. He showed up on last week's episode of AEW as a new character of Malachi Black.
And he still has like a month or so of his contract left?
Check this out. Wrestlers that are in NXT under the WWE umbrella, when they're in NXT, their farm league,
like their JV squad.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
They have a 30-day non-compete. When they go to the main roster, they're supposed to get updated to a 90-day.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They didn't update
and his contract
is
never updated. That's right. Yeah.
So
he wasn't breaking any rules then if his contract was updated. Okay.
So there was a promo being cut by one of the classic wrestling faces, Arn Anderson. He's 70-something years old.
Okay.
Earlier in last week's episode, the power went out early. And the commentators played it off that, hey, we're in Florida. There's that hurricane coming. It's cool. Whatever. And it was a short, power cut, and it came back on. The second time it happened, it was a lot longer. When the power kicked back on, there was Malachi Black. Oh. The guy's name is Tommy End. That's what he went by, at least in the indies. So let's call him that, because Malachi, I mean, cool name, but this has not landed on me yet. But Malachi. Tommy End.
It's a religious name.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's biblical.
He's the guy, he's Dutch. Isn't that weird? He couldn't go. He couldn't go to Saudi Arabia.
Tell the rest of the story in a Dutch accent.
Yeah, I was like, wow, you went for the Dutch accent. That's awesome.
So when he was with WWE, he couldn't go to Saudi Arabia because well, he's covered in tattoos, but he has a gigantic female samurai or the female devil on his back. And they're like, no, you can't have that. You can't, no. So, but in WWE, the last storyline that he had was with Seth Rollins, and they did this eye injury storyline where Aleister Black's eye, they put a contact in, so he had like a gray white eye type of thing.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
This motherfucker shows up on AEW with a messed up, you know, his face was like had like special effects kind of makeup on it to make it look almost purple, and was wearing the same kind of contact in the same eye.
Oh my!
So going back to your story, France, or your question, Francis, yes, in this sense, he's jumping franchises and carrying a bit of a storyline across.
That's cool. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because I imagine that most wrestlers don't get the opportunity or they don't have a long enough career, I guess, to be able to finish the storyline of whatever character they are. So
well,
I was just curious how they kind of went about doing that.
If they're in WWE, they might wrestle on WrestleMania, their biggest show of the year, and 2 weeks later get fired.
Well, that's what happened this year, didn't it?
That did happen. That happens all the time. Or they get talked up, like advertised that they're gonna be on WrestleMania for like months, and then they get cut like day of. Yeah. Or like pre-showed.
Yes, which is like the worst place to be.
Which is almost worse than being cut altogether.
Yeah.
Well, so then I had this. So like, out of curiosity, then for someone like, say, The Rock, like, how do they transition from him saying, okay, well, he's this wrestler guy with a storyline, blah, blah, blah. Now he's actor Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Like, did they just go, well...
To me,
so there's a few like legacy stars that are they WWE superstars or like that? There's like a different Josh. Do you know? There's like a different.
I mean,
name
everybody in WWE is a superstar.
Yeah,
but like, they don't wrestle.
There's the John Cena's.
John Cena.
The Rock. You know, like Edge, or you know, like all these people who like want to branch out and try acting or start a family or you know all this stuff, but like they're still big enough that they could pull an audience for just randomly showing up. Like the Undertaker forever, like for 20 years has just been like randomly showing up once every other year, every 3 years.
Yeah,
just be like you know.
His entrance usually is longer than his appearance.
Exactly. So, and like Brock Lesnar and like, you know, like
Brock Lesnar has a top knot haircut right now.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's disgusting.
I just saw an article that was like unrecognizable, and I was like, no, he looks the same. He just looks like more of a douche now.
So okay, but how do they, like, for instance, like, do they finish up?
They'll just make a storyline. Like they'll just, you know,
they'll
just
stop
be
talking
like,
about the person.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
They'll never. Like, they'll cut them out of all the videos and flashbacks of things. They're like, wait a minute. Daniel Bryan was in this match. I'm pretty sure Daniel Bryan was in this match. Yeah. And then, like, every time you're about to see Daniel Bryan, nope, they cut away.
They cut away. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. That's it sounds like wrestling's a very complicated career to have because it's just.
It's not very. Yeah. There's only a few people who actually make money off of it.
Mm-hmm. Like it's very interesting that the whole non-compete thing came up the last week, and then Joe Biden just the other day said something about how 1 in 3 Americans is under a non-compete, and he's like,
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
He's like, he was short of saying he thinks it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like if the employer wants to keep you as an employee, then they need to do better and keep you as an employee.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if somebody wants to go do something else somewhere else, let them go or treat them better. Or and I was like, hell yeah.
Make them want to stay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like,
in a way that makes them want to stay. Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know about where you guys are, but like right now, the trend in the Midwest of like, you know, places are closed, like fast food restaurants or restaurants are putting all these like passive aggressive signs up saying like, like, we aren't open right now because people would rather get unemployment than work. And it's like, no, people would rather just like to make a living wage now and not be treated like absolute fucking garbage.
There was a Burger King I saw where everybody quit and they put on the sign, sorry, we all quit. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Yeah.
I didn't see any here.
Yeah. It's all over there.
I mean, I don't think that was here. I think it was in Illinois or something like that.
Yeah, because say here they just have, they just put hiring.
Yeah.
Like I think every other place has the "we are hiring" sign.
Yeah. No,
they
like,
don't put the
all
sign
these
of
places that are like, we are closed, and it's like this long fucking paragraph, like bad punctuation and grammar and everything, like the wrong use of your and there, and just like these lazy millennials only wanting government handouts and just like all this stuff. And it's like, no, forever boomers have been saying, don't like it, get a better job, and they're finally getting better jobs. And now, anyway, sorry, didn't mean to go off on that, but so if you want to keep your people, tip minimum wage is $2.30.
Yeah, I don't know.
And you have to claim your tips too.
Right.
To the IRS.
I work,
because the majority of people use credit cards now, so there's a paper trail.
That's why I always tip in cash.
Exactly.
I never tip in. Well, I mean, when I can, I try not to tip in card. Yeah.
The dispensary that I helped run, the owner tipped our tips. Damn, that was hard for me to say. Taxed our tips, and I always argued that was unnecessary. Because one, we don't.
Was there a tip line on the credit card?
No,
exactly.
it was all cash.
What the fuck?
And we don't work for tips. In fact, we don't even make tips because earning tips in the marijuana industry is illegal. And they were labeled karma jars.
Yeah.
So if you want to give us some karma, you want some good karma, put some karma in there.
It's illegal
to have a tip jar. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's labeled tip jar. Yeah.
My favorite tip jars are like, who do you think are going to win the finals? This team or this team? And it's like, oh, okay. Like, I get you. I know what you're trying to do here. My favorite, I don't know why I'm going to mention this, but I'll just mention this. Back in the day, do you guys have Cold Stone Creamery?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Back in the day, when you tipped Cold Stone Creamery people, they would sing a song.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It was my favorite.
I'd always be like, I'll give you a higher tip if you don't sing.
I never understood the gimmick, but
I never understood it either. They stopped doing it, thank God, because there's fewer and fewer. But
no, I just mean the entire gimmick of Cold Stone. I don't get the gimmick. Like,
I love it. Oh, I love Cold Stone.
Where they use their paddles and they mix in shit.
Yeah.
They make it makes you feel like you're in control of what you're getting.
Because you control what's in the ice cream.
But like without it being unsanitary.
Yeah.
Like a buffet.
Yeah.
But like
remember though,
like
this is also the lactose intolerant guy. So
well, yeah.
Well, that's why you get fresh fruit. I always got fresh fruit and stuff like that with my sorbets. But like tip jars of like, what do you think is a better origin story, Mortal Kombat or G.I. Joe?
Right.
Speaking of which,
what?
that's a movie I might go and talk shit through the entire time.
Oh, whatever.
They've already fucked up by showing Snake Eyes has a face in the trailer.
He has a face.
He's gonna have a face. He's a guy.
He's always gonna have a
He's
face.
just a dude under a mask. He was born with the mask.
No.
Oh.
Like
it
Fan of
came
the
from
Opera.
the womb.
Like
It just fucking sheds.
Show us your face.
Every other month it sheds. It's just
because he's a snake.
I mean, first of all, who asked for a G.I. Joe origin story of anybody?
Somebody did.
Of anybody.
You know what?
Like, you know what the origin story we need in G.I. Joe? Serpentor.
Well, wait a minute. No, wait a minute, wait.
Now,
First off,
you know what we need an origin of why they yell Cobra every time they attack. I wonder who's attacking us.
Also, why can Cobra and Joe communicate with each other over radio, or were they screaming at each other through closed canopies? I never understood.
They were just screaming.
I mean, this is first off, Snake Eyes is a secondary character. I don't care what you say. He's not Duke. He's not. He's none of these these characters who you're supposed to care about. He's not even what's her name? Not Duchess. What's her name again?
Baroness.
Baroness. Yeah, she's not even the Baroness, who's way more important than Snake Eyes. He was just the silent guy that kind of did ninja stuff every once in a while. And he talks. Are you upset that he talks?
I haven't seen that trailer, so I can't be mad about that yet.
He talks he doesn't talk through the mask, but before he gets the mask on, he's making quips and saying jokes.
Oh my god, I can't wait!
Yeah.
Cannot wait to hear Josh's scathing review.
Oh god.
It's and of course they picked the dude from Crazy Rich Asians that everybody loves, Henry Golding, I guess his name is, right? He's I don't know, I don't know, I never saw the movie, but he's in every. If you're looking for some Asian dude, he's the guy. Apparently, you have to hire because there's no other Asian actors. But it's. But he's Snake Eyes, and he's got the quips, and he's got the slight British accent, and he's got
What's his name?
Henry Golding, I think his name is.
I don't understand why we're still trying to reboot G.I. Joe movies.
Where's The Rock? Where's Bruce Willis? Where's Damon Wayans? or which Wayans brother was it?
One of them.
Yeah, where's one of the Wayans brothers? In their jumpsuits. Where are the jumpsuits?
Yeah. It just didn't. And then they fucked up Cobra Commander from the very beginning. At least they made the Destro Scottish. At least there was
Marlon Wayans.
Marlon Wayans.
Ripcord. And also the Snake Eyes in that movie was Ray Park.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's cool. I like Ray Park. At least they picked a good martial artist for that guy.
Mm-hmm. But again, it's Ray Park. Guy doesn't talk.
No.
You know what happens?
The line.
There's a reason why.
The line in episode 1 that you hear isn't even Ray Park. That's a VO.
Same thing that happens to everything else. Best line of X-Men. Oh man, when Halle Berry had an accent for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is when that producer comes in and plays that clip for us.
Yeah, added it in post.
Right.
Thanks, producer.
It would be really cool to have somebody that was connected somehow that could feed me the sound clips or something or pictures.
We'll add this producer to the call. We just won't show their face, and they can do all the sound bites and stuff. We got you, producer. Thanks. Thanks for taking the non-paying job of executive producer of Points of Interest podcast.
Let's make that very clear. Very non-paid.
I was gonna say something terrible, but I won't. Because I'm you get paid in other ways.
What are you insinuating, Francis?
Nothing. There's a reason why my tongue is tired.
Is Martha our producer?
Oh well, there you go.
I turned it on you. Yeah. So there you go. Speaking of origin stories,
I don't have any other stories of origin.
I was just gonna say
Black Widow.
Love him.
Oh yeah, what about Black Widow?
Oh yeah, and Loki. I guess we'll talk about Loki real quick too.
Yeah.
Just quick on Black.
I've seen up to the reveal of Alligator Loki. So whatever you're gonna talk about. I'm gonna watch it probably after we're done. So whatever.
Well, okay. So just real quick on Black Widow, it's a movie that doesn't need to exist.
I mean, I figured that from the beginning.
It's really just like a 2-hour setup to the post-credit scene, which is all that matters. There's gonna be it's setting up the Dark Avengers pretty much. Okay. So there's gonna be a Dark Avengers.
Yeah, because well, I mean, that's something they've been talking about, though. You know, they want to do a Dark Avengers. The Young Avengers is definitely going to be a thing.
Yeah, they're setting up Young Avengers. They're setting up Dark Avengers.
I want to see like the Thunderbolts.
Well, Dark Avengers / Thunderbolts. This whoever this may be.
Okay.
Yeah, but it really is. They're really doing everything they can to be like, oh, you like the movies? Go watch the Disney Plus stuff because there's direct Disney Plus connections.
Yeah, I heard that this post-credit scene is like, hey, go watch this specific show that has not yet come out yet, but make sure you go watch it when it does.
Well, it's not just for the one that came out, but the one that already passed. It's like, you want to know who this character is that just came out of nowhere, and like who the hell is this woman? Go watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and you'll learn who this person is. It's like, oh, okay. So there's a lot of that now. Like, they're just saying, go watch the Disney Plus stuff. But again, speaking of Disney Plus, Loki. How are you liking it?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of exposition.
Which I like, actually. I think of the 3 that's been out, this was the best.
Yeah. For sure.
Falcon and Winter Soldier was rushed and kind of boring. WandaVision I really liked, but got kind of meh at the end.
A lot of loose ends.
But that's okay because it's supposed to, sort of.
Well, it's supposed to have a second season, isn't it? Or no?
No,
it's a one shot.
Yeah, I think every one of these shows are one shots.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Loki, we're down to the last episode, which actually airs at midnight tonight here in California. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, so talk to me, Savannah. What do you think?
Yeah. Our new executive producer thinks that that at the end when they reveal, not giving too much away, Josh.
It's fine.
You know, the where they're traveling to, Francis. He thinks that it's going to be another Loki variant.
That's
evil Loki variant.
That is Martha's guess as well.
Okay.
My guess is that it has to be, because they're not just going to introduce some weird random dude at the end that's like, I was the real bad guy all along. Like, it's going to be someone.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a theory, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I did watch a TikTok today actually, that said that her theory is that Mobius is a variant of just Owen Wilson.
I hope so.
And his variance is that he doesn't say "wow."
Well, we kind of established that, right? Well, one of the executive producers actually said like he doesn't say "wow," right?
But like that's like what's canon is that like Mobius is actually a variant of Owen Wilson.
That's hilarious because he does say, there was an episode where he said how and now, and I'm like, you're so close, dude. You're so close. just say wow. You've already said how. You already said now. In the way that you say wow, just say wow.
Yeah.
But I'm really hoping that my theory will come true, and Loki will interrupt Owen Wilson and see wow.
Vintage Loki, I think, is my favorite though.
Yeah, what's his face? I forget his name, but famous actor, dude, old dude.
Yeah.
So good. And of course, Loki Gator.
Yeah.
I love Loki Gator as well.
Alligator Loki. Hi.
Yeah. But
that was a fun surprise at the end of that episode for sure. It kind of had a Terminator feel to it at the same time, like kind of come with me if you want to live sort of thing.
Yeah.
So you were just introduced to them, so you have a whole episode where you get to meet like a whole bunch of other Lokis, which are fun.
All right, so I guess I'm 2 episodes behind then.
You're only one.
Only one.
Because tonight's the finale, so you're only 1 episode behind.
Okay.
And of course, I have to say this just because it seems to have gripped about half of the people who watch Loki. But apparently, Loki and Sylvie have to kiss in the last episode.
You think so?
Well, they've been hinting at a romance.
Do you think so? Do you think that Loki is so full of himself that he'd date himself?
That's a female version of himself, and yes, I do actually. I mean, who loves themselves more than Loki?
That's true.
That is very
Like
true.
Loki loves himself so much that it does make sense that he would fall in love with himself in female form. And I do enjoy that everyone calls it incest, and I'm like, no, they're the same person.
They're the same person.
It's like it's masturbation at the best.
Mm.
But I'm excited for this final episode. My theory is the same thing. It's just like, oh, it's going to be one of the dark variant Lokis, which kind of sucks. Sort of. I would have liked like a bigger villain, but it's fine. But
I also saw. Go ahead.
No, that's all.
I was gonna say I also saw a meme that was like I've lost all faith in humanity because after the episode where they showed that Loki was DB Cooper.
Oh yeah.
And a whole bunch of people looked up who DB Cooper was just to like get the reference, and it's like,
Yeah,
what?
I didn't know who the fuck that was.
What?
I'd never
yeah.
even heard the name before.
Are you kidding?
Not at all. Not at all.
You're like 10 years older than me, Josh, and you what? DB Cooper?
Even now, I'm like, who the fuck is it? At this point, I think it's just a fictional person.
It is not.
No.
It's like the unsolved mystery.
Robert Stack couldn't figure that one out.
No, they literally have closed it because they cannot figure it out. Like they're just like, nah, this is unsolvable.
But now it has been solved
Yeah.
through Loki.
Yeah,
It was Loki all
Yeah,
along.
now we know. Yeah.
Now we know.
Now I want like it was Loki all along song.
Oh God, no. I like the Agatha song. Don't get me wrong. I actually like that song, the Agatha song.
Yeah.
But oh no, we don't need the Loki song. And apparently Agatha is now in the MCU, so you're gonna see her again apparently. So that's cool. I like that too because I like her as a character. And I like that again. That Marvel continues to subvert expectations and not do the obvious, like, oh, it's gonna be it's gonna be this character and that character.
Yeah.
I'm still holding out for Morpheus.
Like Morpheus. Oh, you mean
The devil character, Morpheus.
It's not Morpheus. It's
Mephisto.
I was like,
I was
Morpheus
like,
is
Morpheus. Yeah.
Yeah, Mephisto.
the red pill or the blue pill.
It's either Mephisto or Nightmare. Like
It'd be nice if it
that's
was
what
Mephisto.
I want. That's what I want it to be. But
I kind of want that too because then it's like you were supposed to be in WandaVision.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
like, cause that first episode of Loki where the little girl points at the devil character in the stained glass, I was like, "Look, it's Mephisto."
Yeah. Again, like we thought that, again, I love it how they just subvert expectations and be like, no, it's going to be this. It's going to be the simplest answer.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be the easiest answer. We're not going to complicate things. I mean, that's why people hated Black Widow, was because there was a character named Taskmaster in there, and everyone hated Taskmaster because it's like, oh, it's not the Taskmaster I like. It's like, no, it fits the story. Like, it's the simplest way to fit into the story. So you're just gonna have to deal with Lady Taskmaster. But it's fine. It's fine. Go watch the next episode. You're gonna like it, Josh.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
It's really good.
It's very good.
I've enjoyed it. I just wanted like a couple to bank up because I felt that they were really short. Despite all the exposition, they still felt really short.
They feel really short. Yeah. This one is good though. I think it feels, like it builds and it's good. So I think you'll like it. There's a lot of funny parts in it too.
Yeah, a lot of humor.
There-
Look
there's
at the
been-
backgrounds.
which-
Look
yeah.
at the background.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I you know me. I'm a big watching that. It takes me like an hour to watch these half-hour TV shows because I keep pausing things and being like, "What was that?
Yeah.
Let me see that."
Do you know? Right before we sorry, Josh, did you
No,
have
No, go
anything
ahead.
else on Loki?
No.
I was gonna say before we sign off. I just want to say the return of the U.S. version of Love Island has restarted, and real excited about it.
All right, so we're gonna expect a weekly Love Island.
No, oh my God, there's so many episodes. Like it's on every day. So, like,
Really? How could they possibly do an every?
well, it's,
I mean,
it's
they're
every couple
there
of
every
days.
day, are they not? They're living
yeah.
it at the island
Like,
every day.
It's
It's just like on
UK
Fridays, you get down to the naked parts.
There's no naked
I
parts.
was gonna say, are there naked parts?
They have the hideaway, which is like their like
Oh,
one couple gets to spend the night in there, and then they usually bang because they're not surrounded by because they all sleep in one room usually, you know.
and there's no cameras,
No, there's cameras.
so people are watching them bang.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They usually put the
Ah.
covers for them, and
I
you
was
know.
gonna say, man, porn is getting easier and easier to
Yeah,
come by.
absolutely. Just CBS right there.
Right.
Man, thanks CBS.
Anyway, that's it. My new my guilty pleasure is back on TV, but I don't have, you know, regular TV, so I have to wait for it to come up the next day on Paramount Plus, and so you know.
Ugh.
Anyway, that's all I got.
That's all I have. Francis, do you have anything else?
No, that's all I got too.
What is the
Ye-
strangest taco you had? In the
Yeah.
Aside from the head,
Mexico?
well, I don't know if did I talk
We didn't
about
talk
that?
about
We
that.
didn't talk
Oh,
about-
okay. Well, I had okay. I'm just gonna say I had two different weird things. I had a soup that was all stomach and intestines.
Oh God.
So I had stomach intestine soup, and then I had a cabeza taco, which is all different parts of the cow head, chopped up, and everything's freaking spicy over there. Obviously, right? I had to. I spent like the month before I went, like building up my tolerance for spice. Not enough. Holy shit, their food is spicy. Like it is some spicy food over there, but it's tasty. It's what I love about their spice. It doesn't overpower taste, and their taste is, and it always tastes good. So, yeah. But I would say cabeza tacos is probably the weirdest one I've had. And there's weirder stuff, which is funny because there's weirder stuff than that exists. Like
I'm sure.
you know, but
Delicious.
delicious.
Would you recommend? Yes. I think that was
I would
your-
recommend going to Mexico City. My biggest recommendation, though, it reminded me. My biggest recommendation is go visit a third world country.
You said it wasn't a
that's
third world
always my
country.
recommendation. It isn't, but it reminds me of when I visited the Philippines, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is better than the Philippines. But also, everyone should visit a third world country at one point in their life because it just, I don't know why, it just like it really makes you appreciate stuff. Really makes you appreciate stuff.
For sure.
But and the food is actually pretty cool in third world countries. You get to try like snake and like iguana and like like food you just never thought, you know, or half
You can go down to the south and do that.
duck embryo, you know. Like the
See,
duck
that's the
is
problem I have though, is traveling, especially to like a not first world country, is because of my dietary limitations. Is like you ask and they'll just, yep, absolutely, and then you're sick forever. So you know.
I had a donut last week. Had 2 bites of a donut.
Donut?
And by the time I was done with the second bite, I went, palm.
Shit.
Oh yeah.
And I actually had to go tell my boss that I'm currently being poisoned and I might need to leave unless we have Benadryl, which I'll probably leave anyway.
Did you leave?
You have an EpiPen, Josh?
No.
Get one.
Maybe I should.
Yeah.
Yes,
every
you
half
should.
hour she would come up to me, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I had
For
2
now.
bites. You know, like if I
It
finished
was like when I was eating puppy chow one time, and I was like, wait a minute, isn't one of the main ingredients peanut butter?
oh
Wait,
Jesus.
did you say you were eating puppy chow?
Yeah.
It's
The
a
dog
it's
food?
no, it's a snake.
it's a
snack.
Midwestern. It's like Chex Mix, peanut butter
Oh.
and chocolate and
Yeah.
powdered sugar.
I don't know why they call it puppy chow either.
I don't either.
I was like,
I
puppy
question
chow
it every
is
time
like
I hear
dog
it.
food here.
No.
Okay.
Come to the Midwest, Francis. We have so much to
Sorry.
teach you.
I know.
Like the word salad usually does not mean salad.
What does salad mean?
Anything with mayonnaise, pretty much.
Oh
or
my
there's
God.
There's like cookie salad,
Mm.
which is
What?
like pudding and like Snickers bars.
What
and
is
like
what is like romaine lettuce salad? What do you
yeah,
call
it's a
that?
salad too, yeah. But there's like pasta salad, but it's like pasta and mayonnaise
like
and
cold pasta
tomatoes.
salad?
Yeah, it's
Blah.
cold, yeah.
Potato salad and
Potato salad, yeah.
Yeah.
Jello salad and like
oh yeah, I know Jello salad.
so. It's
Nope.
a wild fucking west out here, guys.
No kidding. No kidding.
Maybe that's where we
Oh.
should have our roommate hijinks is in the Midwest.
There we go. Yeah, and it'll just be me being like, "Here's another hot dish for you guys to try,"
Here's a casserole.
and you'll be like casserole, and then it'll be a whole episode because I assume this will just be a TV show at this
Yeah,
point.
because we're just gonna Love
sitcom.
Island it and have like
Yeah.
30 cameras, you know,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
dudes running around with boom mics and
Yeah.
a whole camera crew and everything. The executive producer guy is gonna have to figure that
Yeah.
shit out, but you know.
Yeah. Naked attraction. There's just naked attraction in the chat room.
Okay. Have you watched that?
I don't
It's a
know.
show.
The
I
reason
know.
he brings it up, oh my god, I discovered this. We were at a party this weekend, and they were watching this show called Naked Attraction.
What kind of
And it's
fucking party
literally-
was this? What kind of parties you go
It's
to
an
watch
Eyes Wide
TV?
Shut party. Don't worry about it. And no, it was a after bar, drink too many beers and whatever.
Okay.
Anyway, but it's a UK show. It's a dating show where it's literally on just physical attraction, but you're naked, and you start from the waist down, and they're totally nude. Like there are dicks and vagines on this show. Like
Is
it starts.
It's not called Naked and Afraid. Isn't that what
It's
that's
called Naked Attraction.
Attraction.
And it's literally
That's
they
a
start
different
with
dating
like
show,
the
Francis.
crotches, and then they work their way up, and it's fucking bonkers.
Naked and Afraid
like-
is a really weird extreme dating show.
Yeah. Also that too, yes. But like this is literally just, and there's like 8 seasons of this fucking show.
So wait a minute. So the dating show starts from the waist up, and like they look at that. I can fuck that.
Yeah.
And then they go up.
Literally, they're like, all right, how do you feel about this person? They're like, but of course it's like UK, so they're like, I like the girth.
So they're like
Those are some
fucking.
nice
They're like
walls.
they're
I
like
like the
ready,
walls,
or
you
they're
know,
just
like
chilling.
you know.
Oh yeah, are they erect or are they
No,
flaccid?
well, I mean, it's just like they're standing in these like.
I could imagine they'd be erect in a moment like that because they're in front of an audience. I'm
Right.
assuming.
Well, I don't think it's an audience, but I mean, there are cameras, obviously. Like,
Oh,
there's the
yeah.
host and there's
I mean,
the
that's the
person.
only way I'd want to appear. I'd want to,
And then-
to
and
reveal
then,
the
so
curtain.
then they
There's
go
just-
to the torso, and they're like, "How do you feel about this?" And then you see, like, if you know, like, and it's like shows their dumb tattoos. Like, for instance, the first episode, this man has a fucking elephant tattoo around his penis,
Of course he does. Of course he
Of
does.
course.
and she chose him.
She
Love the sense
maybe
of
she
humor.
likes
She's like, I
elephants.
love this man's sense of humor. It's so funny
Yeah.
that he's got a penis for
Exactly.
a nose.
Exactly. Yeah. But then, like, sometimes it'll be like, I don't like the way he's standing. I don't like that. Or, or like, I don't like the way that they shave their pubic hair. Or, like, it's super fucking weird.
They're
like,
all
it's
Geordies,
so
right?
fucking weird. What's that?
They're all Geordies, aren't they? They're all like Cockney, like, oh.
No, they're not, though.
They're
is
like
the
all
thing.
from
But, like,
Essex.
but
Yeah,
also,
all from Essex.
there's a lot of,
I don't even know why
there's a
that's
lot-
funny, but it is because
What
I've
did
heard
you
it so
say?
many times.
They're all from Essex.
oh, yeah.
Like, why is Essex the place
The
where
only way is
where
Essex,
all
Joey.
like where all sluts of England come from?
I love though that the UK is just like naked bodies. Go for it.
Yeah.
mhm.
Just do it.
It's bonkers. Like it's literally. I watched one episode, and I was like, I can't. What is this? But I made our producer download a bunch on Plex so I could binge it.
I just had a thought while we were talking here that Naked XL is just a swingers version of a dating show.
Naked XL.
What is
That's
that?
when they have two couples or more naked and afraid.
Oh jeez.
Oh,
What is with the nudity?
I don't know.
Really need.
they're just pushing the envelope at this point.
I was gonna say it's just
Discovery.
I'm assuming they're all.
Discovery Channel jumped the shark about 15 years ago.
Oh well. Yeah.
As
I
we
mean, the
speak
Learning
on
Channel
Shark
jumped the
Week.
shark 20 years ago, so whatever. like
Points.
no channel does what they are like. What their tagline is. No more. That
Right,
doesn't
right.
exist. Just what are you talking about? Like, oh yeah, you're learning nothing. You're discovering how stupid we are.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
You're watching a show about moonshine that could literally just be
Oh, that's
water
okay. That's kind of cool.
becoming steam, becoming water again. But, I watch it every week.
I think that's fine.
I think that's everything. Because if I don't say that's everything soon, I'm going to be told that it's everything,
It's everything.
by my lovely co-host. If you want,
Francis.
yes.
I know, right?
Make sure you give us a like and smash the follow button and subscribe buttons.
Smash that
and,
subscribe button.
Road to
the bell.
2000.
For the YouTube stuff, you gotta ring that bell, so you know when
share.
yes,
Like and share.
Subscribe,
Smash that
like, and
like
share.
button.
you gotta do all those things.
Subscribe.
And
So
It's your boy.
It's your boy. Oh, it's your boy.
it's your boys. I ran into one of those videos that we did from San Diego.
Oh my God! Where every episode where you were like, "It's your
It's
boys."
your boys.
Oh my
It
God!
was great. It was great. But for everybody that's out there watching, there's the social medias on the top. Make sure you give us a follow on there. Everybody that's listening, the POI Podcast, gmail.com, 314-764-7631 for the voicemail. The POI Podcast. I already did that for the thing. So POI Podcast for Twitter and Instagram. And Savannah.
You're just reading that ticker.
I know.
Just reading that ticker.
But the audio version doesn't know that. Savannah, where can
Master
the
Raptors on Twitter, all one word.
She's like,
I like that
"Get us
everyone's
the-"
coming in now. I feel like
I
this,
know.
Like there's so many people in here now, and I'm just like, well, wait a minute.
And we're like
They're
leaving.
I'm beginning
We
to wonder
start-
if like the time difference. I wonder if it's a time thing.
I,
Like,
I,
more people
I
come
s-
at
I
night.
swear I put it on there for 7:30 Mountain Time, but
It starts at 8:30 here, so.
yeah.
Everyone left. Oh, it's over.
Bye.
Well, Francis, where can they find you? In Mexico.
Around. Just look at
Around.
the ticker.
Look at look at my name underneath my name. No, I guess it's for the audio listeners. Just go on aka the guy on my Instagram and my Twitter. I posted a bunch of pictures of the trip, so you can go ahead and take a look at all the stuff that I saw. So you can go there. Just go there.
Just go there.
Just go there because it also has a link to the website, and you can go check out the website. But one thing at a time. At aka the guy, and normally I would plug Super Geeked Up, but we're off for the next few weeks because the host is on vacation. So.
Well, we're still on the road to 2,000, so any help with that would be pretty awesome. You can find me at 303_ninja on the Twitters, 303ninja on the Instagram, and I think that's everything for this week.
Can you hear the train in the background? Here?
No.
No.
Is that what, no, I just
I thought it was funny because it's like.
it's the road to 2000. We're starting off with 4, but we'll get there at some point.
Yeah, hopefully sooner than later.
From 4 to 2000.
Thanks everybody for showing up. We'll be here next Tuesday for another fun adventure. See you then. Bye.
7:30 PS
7:30
Pacific.
Mountain. 7:30 Mountain.
Mountain.
8:30 Central. 6:30 Pacific, and
Yeah.
What is
something
7:30?
Eastern.
Yeah.
Was that 10?
I don't.
9:30.
9:30.
We
9:30
don't
Eastern.
understand time.
I don't.
Time is a construct.
Yeah. So we're out of here. Bye.
Bye.
Why the other